Thad, where did it get away from you?
I would say a lot of different places, but 11-point lead with 8 minutes to go. We didn't rebound at the level we needed to rebound. We made some key mistakes defensively down the stretch, things that we had covered, and we didn't execute. It's funny, every time we did the job that we were supposed to, we did a pretty good job, and then offensively you got 7 field goals in 25 minutes. You gotta score the ball.
Yeah, for several minutes late, you had Amir on the bench, and I think their big guy, Dickerson, scored a couple times pretty much uncontested at the rim during that time. Why did you have Amir out during that? It's like a 4-something to 1-something when you put him back in.
But we had Trey in.
Yeah, Trey was in.
Yeah. Trey was more mobile on the ball screen stuff. But the one on the offensive rebound, we had 3 fouls, and we told our guys, don't give them anything easy, and we backed out of the way and gave him a dunk. But I felt like Trey had a pretty good feel defensively. In fact, he did a very, very good job in terms of what he was supposed to be doing defensively.
That you guys have, in the last few years, been able to bounce back from some January, February slumps. But does this one, to you, with losses to Nebraska and Penn State, feel a little bit different?
Well, it does, because of the position we were in to win the basketball game. I think from the standpoint of this was more than a winnable basketball game. And I'm giving Penn State, my gosh, they make some incredible plays throughout the course of the game. But it's one of those things that we've got to be a tougher physically and tougher mentally basketball team.
How do you kind of gauge where this team's at right now?
I don't like the position that we're in, but it's the reality of it with what we've put ourselves in, the position we've put ourselves in, and we've got to fight our way out of this.
Was there any consideration of fouling there of 3 with shot clock off to get in regulation?
There was, but I felt as good as our defense is, and just the situation where we did exactly what we were supposed to do. One guy did, and we messed it up. But at home, I thought we could get the stop.
That shot by Newell to tie the game, and then is one that put them ahead. Kind of answered the first part. It was a mistake defensively on the first one. What about the second?
Yeah, it was a big time shot. Yeah. I mean, honestly, he hit a tough pull up, and Aaron had him in front of him. I mean, that was a tough shot.
Anything else?
Thad, tonight was Coaches for Cancer and more the for Pete's sake. And what does Dan mean to you? And you do this every year, but now a friend has cancer.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because you think about not only Dan, but walk through the James and you lose a basketball game and like the world's going to end and people are battling and fighting and as hard as it is for me right now, it does put a sense of reality to you. For Dan, I think he's a fighter. If anybody can beat it, he can.
That you get that big lead off your turnovers, and then they stopped turning it over and it came back. You mentioned mental toughness. Do you think the continued inability of your offense to the finish shots is starting to get to these guys.
Yeah, I think it's stressing us a little bit. I really do. And I've been saying that for a few weeks now. And, somehow, some way, I mean, we gave them some transition buckets there in the second half, and you can't give them those that we gave them, and they were off missed shots, and kind of like hanging your head. Hey, it is what it is. You gotta run back across the half-court line. You gotta get the job done.
Thad Lenzel was in here earlier and said that he thinks these losses don't hurt enough. Do you think this team is having any problems finding motivation for games against opponents like Penn State and Nebraska?
I would hope not. I would hope not. Yeah, I would hope not.
And Lenzel said that maybe this team needs to find a bottom, hit a bottom, and that maybe this was it tonight. Do you feel like maybe that's the case then? And it's hard to address, what's going wrong, but maybe can that help?
We're about to find out. I mean, and not trying not to answer the question, but yeah, I mean, I think there comes a certain point, as I told him, I had a guy one time we went into overtime and he was screaming at me saying, "Thank God we get to play 5 more minutes, coach," and we kicked the heck out of that team. I mean, he was like, "Hey, this is what I'm here for," and I think from that standpoint, we got to get back to facing reality, staring ourselves in the mirror, and saying this is what it is. How are we going to fix it? And go from there. I mean, that's the only answer we got right now.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.